we knew coming in, the type of quarterback he was, going to take every chance and every throw, and we just rose to the challenge.
We're 4-0. But again, the way we played the second half this week and the way we played the first half last week, especially on offense, we're going to have a hard time winning football games. So we just got to continue to improve, continue to gel, find, I hate using this word, but identity within offense and in the run game. And that's what the season's for.
We were just kind of lifeless to begin with in the first half. We got punched in the mouth going at halftime, look at the scoreboard, like, all right, what are we going to do now? But we're too damn good to wait to get hit in the mouth. We got to come out swinging. We got to play better. This group's too damn good to start slow, and until we take accountability to that, it should piss us off. Even though it's week 4, this should piss us off. We've talked about starting fast, playing better ball, and we did not do that today.
No, but they sure gave the Eagles a run for their money. Coach, big road win for Philly, but you still got questions about them.
Well, you do, and this was an important road win in the fact that Baker Mayfield had beaten these guys 2 out of 3 times. Baker was 2-1 against Philadelphia. Philadelphia went there a day early, knowing that let's prepare for the weather. But they still struggle some offensively. And I think if you're a Philadelphia Eagle fan, or if you're a Philadelphia Eagle coach on the offensive side, you're trying to figure out, how do we balance this offense? Here again, I say it every week. They have a player named A.J. Brown. Yeah. He's number 11. I think he caught 2 passes. Whew. I mean, and look, I'm not saying you got to throw the ball all the time, but I do believe this. He gets a lot of single coverage on his side because they load the box to stop the run. So they have a new coordinator, obviously, in Kevin Petula. Right. He's learning how to do this. And once this thing gets going, boy, it's really going to get going because their defense is good enough. Their front played well. They generally do. And the secondary played pretty good today, improved. So this team, when you look at them, they're 4-0, undefeated. Yeah. And they haven't played up to their potential yet. That's the good part.
That's amazing, especially for Eagles fans out there who look at this. They look at the A.J. Brown performance. They're not going over top the defense, try to get to them. So they still have more that they can do. So, look, Philly fans, I'm from Philly. We love to criticize. They're 4-0. They got the Broncos next week. What's the formula, as you see it, to get them right offensively then?
Well, I just think, when you have a series of plays, how do you get everybody involved? It's easy for me to say I'm sitting here. I'm not the play caller. Yeah. But you got to convert on third downs so you can get everybody in the mix. And I think when they get a flow of doing that, they're going to be really tough on offense. I mean, because they have the potential of being outstanding on offense. But the one thing the Philadelphia Eagles do, you have to love them for this, they find ways to win.
They do.
They're 4-0 for a reason. You're 4-0, and you can sit there and say, the head coach can walk in there and say, guys, we're not playing our A game yet. That's a good thing.
That's a good thing. Key sacks, key stops. Last week it was a block field goal. I mean, just every single week they find a way to get it.
Find a way to win.
I think we'll get better off.
I think we're all looking for who is this team.
Yeah.
Who they are. And we talked about it in the past 3 shows that we've done. You got to let 4 games play out, a quarter of the season play out to figure out who we are.
Right.
And quite honestly, I'm not sure who we are right now after 4 games. We've looked like a Super Bowl champion more than we have looked like a team that, is not a Super Bowl champion. So I see a lot of good things. I think the future's bright. You look at the next few games coming up, maybe we correct things, and we're winning. We're finding a way to win the football game. That's why you play the game, to win the game, and we are doing that. But I think it also showed we have some areas, if we want to repeat as world champions, we got to correct.
I mean, to be 4-0 and not have played a complete game, that's really difficult to do. I mean, they haven't put it all together for 60 minutes, and they're sitting here 4-0, 20-21 in their last 20-1 in their last 21 games.
I got the numbers. Since
they've had 2 10-game winning streaks in Eagles history, both with Nick Sirianni as their coach in the last 12 months.
Toyota electrifying moment. And this is since the last Eagles-Buccaneers game in Week 4 of last season. They have a 20-1 record, including the playoffs. They're 18-0 in games started and finished by Jalen Hurts. Hurts has 46 total touchdowns to just 5 total turnovers. They have outscored opponents by 248 points. That is insane.
That's electrifying.
And what's more, other than the offensive line because of personnel issues, I'm not sensing a theme. Are you?
Well,
is there a theme like they don't get this fixed? This thing's going to turn around.
What we're seeing right now is championship pedigree. What we're seeing is a team that's used to winning. We're seeing a team that has so much pride that they refuse to lose. And that's a good thing. And you're going to need that down the stretch. We're talking about the things that will carry you over into winning consistently and that could possibly be a problem for you in the future. And that's offensive line and defensive line play. We still don't get much pressure. We end up with 2 sacks today, I believe.
2 sacks.
We end up with 2 sacks today.
One when they needed, one big time.
Yeah, one we need them. We normally don't get pressure, and teams are running the ball on us. And then we're not getting the same push. If Saquon is not the feature back and the guy that took us to the Super Bowl, that's a little bit below the standard, especially with the offensive line that we think are full of Hall of Famers. And right now, it isn't that way.
Yeah. All right, let's take a quick timeout because guess what? The locker room just opened. Can Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, Zach Bond, and company in a 31-25 Eagles win? And really, when you win the war of attrition, and it is a war of attrition. Guys are going off the field hurt. Guys are going off the field gassed. They're playing on their home field. They're used to this kind of thing. And we heard how many times they say on Fox during the broadcast, well, you know, Baker Mayfield said they can't play it like that because they're already taking themselves out of their own game. They're playing mind games with themselves. You know, that can't work. Well, guess what? It seemed like it did. And it seemed like whatever advantage they may have had because of the heat did not work. So... and that's the bottom line.
That's the bottom line. We get a
4-0.
win, you know. But, I mean, there's certain things, you know, just irritate me. You know, I'm pissed off. Vita Vea got 2 sacks.
Yeah.
He's not even a pass rushing. He's a run stopper. He gets 2 sacks against us.
Plugger.
You know, you get a guy, you know, that we got a rookie out there playing from Kansas State. What's his name? Jacob Parrish. I mean, he's out there making plays. I mean, there's certain things that shouldn't happen that happen in the second half, you know. So I don't. I mean, eventually they'll get it together.
All right. How about Dallas Goedert? He got it together. Here's Dallas Goedert post-game in the locker room.
What worked in the first half and what didn't work in the second?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like the first half everything was working. We were able to move the ball, convert on third downs, keep the drive alive, and in the second half, we just need to find a way to get that 1 first down to get us rolling, and we didn't do that. There's just little things. I'm sure it'll show up on film. I'll have to go back and watch it, but I'm sure it's going to be little things that if we clean it up, we'll be able to pick up the yard, stay ahead of the sticks, and convert and keep drives alive. And just a big shout out to both the special teams and defense for holding it down long enough to be able to squeak away with a win.
Can you tell us about the fake push touchdown to you?
Yeah, I was really happy we got a call. I think we put it in about 4 years ago, maybe 5 when the staff first got here, and worked to perfection. Shout out, the call and the 3 people, Grant, Cameron, and Saquon ahead of me, getting the block so I could basically just walk in. That was pretty fun.
What's the mental like after a game like this? Obviously, it's really hard to win on the road in the NFL, but in the second half, you guys didn't play as well as you would hope, at least the offense. What's the mental like after one of these type of wins?
Yeah, you never 2 down after a win. It would have really been a bummer if we let that one slip through our fingers. We're going to enjoy it today and go back to work tomorrow. Like you said, winning in the NFL.
Dallas Goedert with 2 touchdowns, and one of them was on that fake tush push. Well, they scored 1. It wasn't to Goddard, but he said they've had that in that playbook for 4 or 5 years. Is that the norm?
That's
4 or 5 years
for a trick play. You can practice a trick play for years and never do it.
Gimmicks and gadgets, coaches love putting them in. I would almost bet that they had worked on these plays all season long and saved them for this game. There was they felt that Tampa was the type of team that they would work against, and obviously they did. So sometimes you get something you feel really good about. You don't just immediately put it in. You put it against a specific defense, and it worked.
Yeah, you got Vita Vea sitting there. He's one of those guys that just plugs it up. You can't move him from out there. So it's hard to run the tush push over the on the left side when number one, your starting left guard is, he's still kind of hobbling a little bit. You see he's not as explosive as usually. So him going against Vita Vea, the chance of him getting pushed back would have been more than likely. So you use things like that.
And use it against an aggressive team because they're, you can use like misdirection against an aggressive team. They're going to just go all out up the middle.